Doll Collectors, welcome back. David Eon here with another offering for your consideration up from the museum, and that is the Walt Disney's Characters on Safari action figure series. And these three figures are the complete set. Only three were made. And this is another by request video. As you recall, I did some tour videos not too long ago, and I said, hey, if you see anything that you don't recognize or anything you're curious about, let me know and I can add it to my list of showcases. And this is on that list. And it's a long list and getting longer every day as people continue to ask me if I would show something. But this was on the list, and this is what's next, and this is what we're looking at today. And as you've gathered from the description, yes, these figures were made by Durham. If you recall, if you have seen some of my other videos about Durham figures, or if you're into really cheesy 70s action figures, then you know who Durham is, because they are infamous for making some of the cheapest, crappiest, craptastic action figures ever produced. I mean, like, fall apart in your hands as soon as you open the packages. Cheap action figures. And these are actually, believe it or not, some of the highest quality action figures Durham ever produced. They're between 8 and 9 inches tall. Obviously Mickey and Donald there are 8 inches, and then Goofy's going to be 9 inches. They are soft vinyl, they are jointed, and they are mixed media because they're wearing real clothing. And then of course there is the lithograph that's on these boxes, which is pretty decent. And that's something I've always said about Durham. I've got a bunch of Durham figures, despite the fact that they're terrible figures. I love them anyways, but they always had really good art. And that imagery is classic 70s Disney, from before Disney was the evil empire, from back when Disney was still cool. This is what you would expect. And yeah, Durham had official licensing. Disney was one of them. Another license that Durham had was Marvel, official licensed products. For the most part, though, all they ever made from Disney and from Marvel was like wind-up figures and parachute figures and stuff like that. But right here, they went a cut above and made actual action figures. And it says on the bottom there, movable arms and legs. That's a matter of opinion. The arms do go up and down and the heads turn side to side. I mean, in theory, they're 5 points of articulation, but you can look at this and see that those legs are not going to move. However, the bottom parts of the legs do twist left and right, and that's what they mean by movable. So, yeah, I mean, it's up to you if you want to call that 5 points of articulation or not. On the side of the boxes, it's all the same. They just have a picture of all three of the characters. They all look the same. And then you see it down there, of course, again, Durham Industries Incorporated, made in Hong Kong, which helps you to date this because there is no dating on any of these packages or anything else that Durham made, for that matter, as far as I've ever been able to tell. But the fact that they were made in Hong Kong sets them in the 1970s. Nothing on the back. Again, Durham sparing every expense possible. Why put anything on the back? To hell with it. So nothing back there. On the top, just Walt Disney Characters on Safari. And by the way, these are not sealed. Nothing on the bottom. They are not sealed because the tapes have eroded over the years, so I can briefly open these up and just show you the figures very carefully, which I will do. I know you might think that these are older because there are barcodes, and sometimes that can be an indicator of how old something is. Keep in mind that most retailers were using barcodes for their own purposes as early as 1970 in most cases. Some organizations even earlier. Those are clearance tags covering the original price tag. I do not know what the original price was, but these sold for 90 cents a piece. 90 cents a piece, and they have matching inventory tags. All three of these were sold together. They were part of someone's private collection, and I rescued them. Now they're mine. They're mine and not yours. They are mine. Anyways, I'll cut away here and I'll go ahead and open these up and let you get a close look at them. They were originally sealed in the package, but of course Durham cutting corners. If you recall when I showed the Kung Fu Fighter figure, he was hot glued into the package. That was something that Durham was known to do. These, instead of using a twist tie, they used elastics, and those elastics have dried up and fallen away into the bottom of the packages by now. Actually, you can even see some residue from one of them in the bottom of the Goofy package there. You see that brown spot? That is actually a piece of the old elastic that fell out. So they're not really attached to the inside of these boxes anymore because elastics were cheaper and they've eroded and fallen away. So I'm going to go ahead and cut away and we'll take a look at these out of the box really quick. And we are back, and here is our trio out of the box. And one thing I can tell you is that they are very difficult to get to stand up on their own. They're difficult to pose. They don't like to hold still. And I'll go ahead and measure them here again for you, just to give you an idea. See, Goofy's with his hat just about 9¼ inches. Don't do that, Goofy. 8 inches to the top of his head, but about 9¼ to the tip of his ear. And then Donald is just about, he's just a hair under 8 inches. I think his hair underneath this cap, or the cap's glued on, but the top of it feels like it's right about 8 inches. Donald being the shortest one. And as I had pointed out, you see it's completely mixed media. There's a belt, and the belt actually has a loop thing that you can pull through. Mickey Mouse Club emblem on his shirt there. The hat is glued on. I'm not going to mess with it. And the arms, they go up and down, head turns side to side, and the legs just kind of swivel right there. And Donald was actually the hardest one to balance. He did not want to stand up. Mickey, same thing. You know, arms go up and down, side to side head, and then a swivel right there. And that actually looks very fragile. It's not something I'd want to mess with too much. Mickey Mouse Club emblem, that's getting folded a little bit. He's got a pot belly there. Oh, there's his buttons. And it's pushing that up, and you can see he's going to try to get his foot back wherever it was because he's wanting to fall backwards. There we go. And then finally Goofy. You can see, and these are very light, and again, they're vinyl. The hands and everything are very soft. The head especially is very soft. Just a swivel right there, and that looks very loose too. That looks like you could easily break those. The feet are hard, by the way. The feet are hard, everything else is soft. Yeah, his belt looks like it's coming loose too. I don't want to mess with it too much. They're pretty fragile anyway. I can imagine some kid getting this and breaking them up the first day, which is about what you'd expect from Durham, quite frankly. That's Durham's legacy. Toys that fall apart almost immediately. But again, I still love them though. I mean, this is toy history right here. Toy History 101. Durham Industries. And once again, surprisingly, probably the highest quality figures Durham ever made. What do you think, guys? Have you ever seen these before? Did these ring a bell? Did you have these? If you are a collector of like cheesy figures or figures from the 70s, or are you into Durham? Is this something that you would want? Would you want to collect these? Is this something you'd be interested in? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. I hope you did. Share it if you can. subscribe if you're new, all that good stuff. Check out some of our other videos. I do a lot more than just vintage showcases. Do virtual Toy Fair catalog tours and toy industry discussions and adult collector discussions and weekly roundups and all sorts of things. Convention tours. We're sort of all in adult nostalgia here. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you a Durham collector? Have you ever seen these before? Do you have these in your collection? I know I've got a lot of odd stuff. I've got a lot of things people have never seen before, which is why I like doing these showcases, to just share with people. If you haven't seen it, or maybe it's something that you had seen before that you forgot about, and this helped to jog your memory, then that's great. Anyways, what more can I say? But thanks for watching. And we will see you again soon.